And apologies for how my voice sounds, and if I'm having to stop and take drinks breaks frequently, but still, my throat's still recovering from being sick on Christmas Eve. So, Merry Christmas. Yeah, you've got plenty. So I stocked everything up before I finished. That's good. Well done yesterday, me. And how are we going? We've got 9 coupons there. So that's our big spike when we were dumping a ton of stuff in. Now we're back to just the fluctuations between 7 and 5 million. And I think I worked out at some point in yesterday's stream, I forget exactly how far through, that it should take about 480, 500 minutes at the kind of usual rate to be able to get everything. To get the extra however many tickets I needed. I only need like 400 tickets now. But that's at the expected rate that I could see, and that keeps going up, so I don't know how long that will continue to be true. We might find ourselves taking longer than I expect. That's where those occasional injections come in handy, of just a few little things here and there. There's also the possibility that I was thinking of, power dependent. So how does our consumption exceed our max consumption? How does that work? I'm sorry. You what? It must be all the quantum things, because they're so changeable. Things like the particle accelerator and the quantum encoder, they fluctuate. So spiky. I don't like that. I really wish that they just averaged out. I don't want to have to work on more fuel, if I can avoid it. But at the same time, I was considering just putting down some more... Well, for one, let's get some more animal protein. I was considering getting some more production of just basic things. It's like, what is the highest level that I can easily take? Just iron, for example. I do have copper over there as well. Well, first things first, let's just get an equipment workshop down here. I've chuck those down like they're going out of fashion because it's free materials. There is that copper nearby, and both of them do have the foundry recipes that then if I mix in some copper I get even more iron, and then I can turn that into other things more efficiently maybe. It's a case of what am I going to turn it into, I guess is the question. I should probably think a little bit before I act, right? So making iron ingots is easy. Yeah, especially this iron alloy ingot, 75 per minute, with just a little touch of copper off the side. So that's all well and good, but what do I use that for? What's the best use of an iron ingot? Preferably a constructor, because that's the easiest thing to chuck down. I can make wire, 22.5. I could be making ornaments. Iron pipe, that's probably the best, because 20 to 5, that looks like it's probably the one that's going to use up the most, right? Yeah, that seems like it's the highest density. So we could just put a couple of constructors down in parallel, make a bunch of pipes, and just sink that. And we've got a sink up the back here that I can kind of reverse things back into. If I've got the right inputs, I've got a container that goes in there. And I'm not using the bottom input. Perfect. Okay. I have a lot of aluminium, so everything is becoming Mark V belts. Let's just leave you there, waiting. So now we need at least one foundry. Okay, I'm going to need some more modular frames, looks like. So it's 40 to 10, so we double that, and it's still only 80 to 20. That means we need even more to make this kind of semi-worthwhile. I didn't see what purity is. We're actually normal. Okay, so these are going to be doing 120. What are we using over here? Oh, 72, in fact. So 18 copper, 18 and 12. So that's 48. And this is a Mark II, which is why it's stopping all the time. So we want to split this off and have it come through this gap here. And this was a Mark III, I think. Well, yeah, I guess 3's fine. Actually, no, screw it. Let's just do 5s. Why not? I have the aluminium. Yes, it would probably be more efficient to sink it instead, but so what? Wait, then we come this way. Okay, we're going to need to go to a splitter, though. We can do that on here. So we'll have a lift. I can just do lift Mark 1. These are free materials. And then we can have a splitter on top. And you... across there. Cool. So we've got copper coming in at a massive rate of knots. We've got 72. We've got 72 to work with. So we can easily do 225s. That's nothing. And then we just run you directly into the back of that. For now, so it's 120, you're only using 100. And same there. And we'll put lifter there. We'll put another splitter up here just in case. And also that. And then bring you down. This side. Actually, no, we're going to bring you down about here. And hook you up there. And there. Good. Now you're chugging away. Now we need to worry about what the hell are we going to do with all of this. What's the rate of conversion for iron pipes? 100 per minute. Ooh, goody. What's 187.5 times 2? I mean, if we make this 187.5, if we tweak this to, what was it, 150% maybe? No. Oh, perfect, 187.5%. It's the input. It makes 46.875. That's kind of gross, but never mind. We could also maybe do 200% on this one, and then the corresponding amount on another. It'll just be 150 on the other. 87.5. 187.5 times 2. What is that? Something with a 5 at the end of it, isn't it? I like to try and do the maths in my head. So 7.5 and 7.5 is 15. 180 and 180 is 360. And 15, 375. So it'll be 200 and 175. Okay. So that's interesting. So that's 200 coming in. So we do need to have a merger. We haven't given much room, but we have a merger at this point in order to have this do that. Then we need to have a splitter, ironically, at this point, in order to have this do that. And then we want to have a merger. Got to get back up there. Merger around here. So you're going to have another one off to the right, basically. I don't think there's anything else I can easily do with pipes, is there? Steel pipe. What's the easy thing to make from that? I mean, encased industrial pipe would be good, potentially. Needs an assembler for that. That would be quite good. There's also wire, which I can make from excess copper. Which I do have excess copper. It's just every step that you produce something increases the amount of points that it'll get you and the awesome sink, right? So that's the sort of thing that I'm trying to look at. We need to fire this up, though, to at least get this working. Let's bring you over here. And then we should put a lifter on here, going this way, and see how far we can reach. Can we get all the way there? Not quite. Okay. Let's just bring you down to, like, the edge here and hope that that's going to be enough. Hey, perfect. Good. So that'll get you going regardless of what we do at this point. But we'll put a splitter on at this point, optimistically thinking that we can siphon off some of these. We're only producing 50 per minute, that's the irony. So we can just do Mark 1s from here, ironically, and it'll do 25 each way. Fire you up. Cool. We could even double you just for the sake of it, right? That is also a fun idea. If I had more Soma soups, that would be handy. I mean, why not? Right, for now, let's just do that. And actually, let's just blast these because we can, right? We can just rip them out, go straight away. Now, we're still not using much copper. We've got 22 left in the tank, I think. And that's without ramping this up, which we can easily do. So what are we doing with you at the moment? Just basic? Do more than basic. These are winking off. Why is that? Oh, because this is blocking up, because I only have one going. I need to put the second one down. Let's chuck the second one down straight away. Constructor. Here. You go there, and iron pipe. Bang, bang. Boom. You are only 150, I think. No. Oh, now I've got to do maths again. 175. I think it was the one. Yeah, it was an ugly number. Cool. Away you go. Over here, we would need to smelt the copper first. That is a good point. We could put another foundry down and smelt more copper as well, using the other recipe. So we could actually split some of this off, perhaps. Just from one of these, we could overclock one of these and split more off, because we have the copper alloy ingot. Oh, that's an equal amount. You do work out with, like, extra. So if we take 50 from each way, what did we have available? Well, I just bumped it, so I've got more than 60. So we can make it 75 and have 150 quite easily. And then we've got to turn that into wire. Maybe let's put you back a little bit. we might need a bit more room for you. This is all a lot of messing around for something that probably won't really matter, but... so if we just have a splitter off here to put you from here into... We'll just do like 2 from this point. So that gets you feeding into this. We go alternate. I think we do you and we'll just say like 120, because I think those numbers work better when it comes to the constructors. And then it's 60, which is what popped it up. So then we put a splitter on you and a lifter to come this way, and then a lifter here. Peekaboo. In you go. Lovely. Okay, and then see how quick you can do things when you actually try. Oh, you're a dead end. Interesting. Very interesting. Where were you even going? I'm honestly surprised you're even hooked up to anything. Okay, well now I've completed the loop anyway. Let's bring you down here and then hook you up. Okay, so that's making a bunch of copper, 120. Constructor time. I'm running out of power shards, but I can just put in more constructors instead of overclocking things if I need to. So wire, it's 15 per minute to make 30. And we're dealing with 120. So even doubling this, we need 4 constructors. Crazy. But hey, whatever. Let's just do that. I do have that number of power shards. So 2, 3. Why doesn't it put the same orientation down? I will never understand. Right, and then we want splitter at this point here. Oh, this is ugly. I haven't left myself much room here. I'm pathological about not moving things. Let's just do this slightly more properly. This is fine. If we actually put the splitter down first, because the idea is we want to split straight out of the gate, and then have another splitter off here to go into one and then the next one. Let's just put that down and then place our first constructor down, lined up from that, and then we go there. This one's too close, so then we go like here, and here. And then we have this, like, this. Okay. Then we've got 120 coming out. Well, let's just pull it out super fast. And then we have... It's only, like, 60... It's only 30 actually going into each one, right? So then we just do that into each one. Okay. And then we go... Wire, bump, bump, bang. Wire, bump, bump, bang. I'm fairly sure there's a way you can do this more easily as well. Bump, bang, and wire, bump, bump, bang. Okay. And now we need to put power lines, cable there, put cable there, poles rather. Fire you all up. Okay. A lot of wire going on now. So then the next thing is an assembler to make those stators. If we put you over here. So, what do you need for that? So there was steel rotors, or there's stators. Steel rotors uses more things, which I think is more ideal. So steel pipe and then wire. And how much are we making? We're making a ton, aren't we? 60 times 4. Making 280? 240, sorry. So we need 3 of these, and we use 90 pipes, and we're making 100. Interesting. Okay. But not 100 if we back this off. We remove the Somas loop. Then it was only 50 and 43.75. Okay. So then we can, like, tune it down just a little bit. Oh, 175? You're not producing enough of this? Oh, you're just a normal splitter, so yeah, you're kind of struggling every now and then. That's okay. You'll manage. If the iron backs up, I don't really care. That's the least performant part of this. Okay, so yeah, we need 3 assemblers apparently. This is so crazy. So then this is going to split differently. We actually don't want to split, we want to merge and come this way. We'll leave this merger here. But we actually want to merge these two together differently. Well, this is now awkward. This actually works out reasonably well as a thing, to be honest. That's the ironic thing. Now the other thing is that if I could actually just collect some of these stators, I wouldn't need to Somas loop one of the others, because I do have a bit of a stator problem back at base that I was trying to solve. If I'd done this earlier, I could have captured some, and it wouldn't have been an issue. One of these could just feed into, actually, yeah, let's do preemptively. We'll have a splitter going off from this one, and then a merger. You go into there just fine, you go in there just fine. Okay. You're all going to go into there eventually, but we're also going to have a storage container. Actually, we could put the storage container here so it fills up faster, right? Okay. It's just not ugly, but it's not pretty, but it works. And then there, and then here, and then here. This is a lot of effort for something I haven't even hooked up yet. And then round you go. You're just going to have lifters off the back anyway, so it's fine. Okay, now. Yeah, you are running out of iron, aren't you? This is a bit of a problem, that we have this disparity. It's 187 and then it splits each way. We needed to merge these together instead, or like swap these around a bit. So we got the 100 coming out of there, which doesn't need to be 100 anyway. We should just have made these equal. So 187.5, back you off, and then 187.5, and then get rid of that. Dispense with the splitter. Straight in there. There we go. feed you exactly what you need. Cool. Sorted. And then each of you are creating 46.85, so you guys need to merge, but differently than what you were doing. So, we'll have a... stack these up, so merger, but then going off this direction. And then we go up here, and we don't need you anymore. Up there, and then we need to have a splitter at this point. It kind of works out actually. It's interesting. Then you go facing that way to go there. Okay, and then that can start moving across here. You are needing 80 wire. So all of you guys now need to be merged is the other thing, to have a common amount of wire. So we have you there, and then we have you there. And then we go there, 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 there. So each one of you is making 60. And then we have another merger going this way. And now we need to have 120s. In fact, let's just go 120 on each of these and boost those just for funsies. So now have a common thing coming off here. We can now have a splitter straight away at this point. And you can feed into you, and you can immediately start working. Let's feed you off over here and hook you up. Stators away. And then send you up here. That straight into there. And fire you up, and we need to connect the steel pipes. Splitter that way. Belt 1. Lifter that way. Belt that way. Good. You, lifter that way. Lifter that way. Belt cross. Easy. Let's even get you powered up in anticipation. And then we only need a Mark II going across this way, coming from back here. And across there. Slicing through other things. Don't care. It works. That's all that matters. And I need to tell you what to do. Because you're the ones that have to move. Stator. Bang bang. Boom. Cool. 90 pipe being used. 80 wire being used. So if it's only 90, we can back these off to 45 each. And then make just 180 each from here. Six. Were you running out of iron? Did I not ramp you up enough? Oh, I did. 180. You're only using 60 coming off here. Is it just because it's how it's splitting weirdly? Mark II is plenty. Oh, you're only Mark II. That's why. Classic. Let's just go Mark III. That's fine. Okay, that's a little bit more helpful, isn't it? Good, and then we're going to get stators backing up in here. Lovely. I'm going to now... Oh, and then we've got, yeah, a steady stream of stators now, instead of what we did have. So it dilutes it all down, but the net... and we're siphoning some off is the other thing, of course. But the idea is we should be more than doubling what we would otherwise be netting from syncing the components. And then we just... every now and then have a stator zooming along to go into the sink instead at a rate of half of 30 per minute, so 15 per minute. Good. And now I'm going to take a short break. how's this going? You aren't doing much. Oh, you do it in batches, of course. I just happen to see it and think, oh, you've stopped. Nope, you're just ticking over. Cool, when it's daytime again, of course. You know what? I've decided that I'm going to get rid of this container and not siphon these, and they can just all go through to the sink, because that's what I'm wanting to do with this. If it really wants to be at the state that I'm sacrificing things, I'm already doubling things over at my base for the sake of stators. It's another 187 anyway. Now I'm going to guess, if I check on things... yeah, you've run out of supercomputers. That's what I was just about to guess. Is that this will have dipped down because supercomputers... I need to do a run of those. So let's go back. That was about, what, 30 minutes effort just to set up a big production run of stators. Now just imagine if I'd done that earlier and had that just big repository of stators built up. I wouldn't have had a problem over here when it came to this. And now I've got an excess over here anyway. Supercomputers, before I forget. So I need to make sure that both sides of this equation are fed. Yeah, we've got lots. Okay. And also, let's just grab some more computers real quick as well. And another few circuit boards. Just a few things that I know that I need over here. Because, yep, you've run out of computers, sure enough. Wasn't onto enough on those. Circuit boards, I'm fine. So yes, you actually hadn't run out of supercomputers yet because you'd run out of the other stuff. That's a problem. I think that the supercomputers up here aren't as valuable as the others, but I am producing like even amounts. And I don't have anything else to do with them, so this is fine. And I'm doubling everything, and it doesn't use much other things, and produces a decent chunk of these, so ideally I'd take this through to like AI limiters as well, but that would require another quantum encoder and other stuff. So how are you going? Very spiky. My maximum consumption has jumped a little bit. But my production remains higher, so that's good. I mean, all of this didn't really add up to much extra power, right? What have we got? 25.6, so that's... Oh, and only 15 because I'm only overclocking one of them. So that's 40, let's say. 40, 50, and 50. So it's 140 and 20. 160 and 40 is 200. And two of these less than 20, so 220, say, just generously. 37.5, 75, so was it 220, 295? Yeah, 320, 330 megawatts, I think, for this whole section. So that's not bad. Well, that was an interesting little sidetrack and literally right next to my main base area anyway. Imagine what we can do in other places. There's actually another couple of quartz over here. I harnessed the pure one, but there's a normal one there that I could just turn into silica and pump over to the same awesome sink if I've got a bit of spare time. Which I think I probably do, realistically. Right, next thing to keep track of. Well, let's just redo a supercomputer run right now, just to make sure that we don't run out of anything there. I always look at the thing instead of the container. I should also, like, put the container up here, just so it's slightly more convenient. Should I make it a fast one? Why not? I produce one per minute. I don't need to make it fast. That's just silly. It is fun to be silly, though. There we go. It's just a little bit that I don't have to fly, right? Same sort of logic, to be honest. I feel that, unfortunately, I've got this lovely curve going on here. Let's actually reroute this a little bit, if we can. And put storage container here. with a lifter going up, like so. Get rid of this. Have it going back over the top. There we go. Again, just don't have to go as far this way. And then you can go, this is going to be ugly. We can go like that. And then that to go like that. There you go. Funny. Doesn't matter if it takes them a little while to get in there. It's about the destination, not the journey. Feels backwards, but